So, there's this old meme. There's this old meme on the internet. Lolly hate pizza. LOL, I hate pizza. You might know what it is. You probably don't, because most people probably don't. But it's an old meme. This is the makes me think about this, because it's a little girl eating pizza. That's fucking weird. It's just an old meme on like 4chan. But I got this at a pizza place, and that's like their logo. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I was thinking, what the fuck are people doing? I thought, what the fuck do people do, man? People just make phone calls and shit. That's all people fucking do. People just make fucking phone calls. That's all. That's all people fucking do. Just making phone calls and shit. That's all. That's all people fucking do, man. They make phone calls and shit. Like you gotta fix a problem, you make a phone call. Like you want to talk to someone, you make a phone call. Like I don't know, you want to connect to some, you want to connect to a internet server, you make a phone call. That's all people fucking do. They just make fucking phone calls and shit. And I was just looking because there's a full moon tonight. So there's a full moon, so I'm the most intelligent. At least maybe not, but that's what I thought. And I was just thinking, all people do is make fucking phone calls, and I was hysterical because that's just like that's all people fucking do. People just make phone calls and shit. So it's pretty interesting, right? Uh, I mean, maybe people are doing what the fuck I'm doing, but they just don't realize it. Maybe people just doing what the fuck I do, but they don't realize it. You know what I mean? Maybe that's all people fucking do. They do what the fuck I do, but they don't realize it. Except they don't, since nobody thinks like I think. You know what I mean? I'm the only person who fucking thinks like this, man. Nobody else thinks like this. But other people think about other shit, but nobody else thinks like this. That's pretty interesting. That means I'm unique. I think I'm unique. I think that I'm unique. So that's pretty interesting. I'm technically an emo girl. Emo girl. I'm emo. Like emotional. But I mean, that's what I would consider myself to be. I think I'm anorexic, but I still eat food. But actually, I ate some food and then I puked it out. So I don't know, I might be anorexic. I think I'm anorexic. I have a strange fetish. I like gore. So that's some people like it. I'm not the only one, but something about gore. I like it, but I don't think about it that often. But it's a part of me. So I don't know. The sexuality is a part of your human experience, your sexuality. So if you like gore, you're sort of like that all the time, whether you're thinking about it actively or not. Uh, Lolly hate pizza. that's, that's an old meme. That's fucking based. That's fucking based. That's fucking based. I'll tell you. Lolly hate pizza. Lolly hate pizza. That's an old fucking meme. That's fucking based. I was just thinking all people fucking do, man. is make fucking phone calls and shit. That's all people fucking do. They make phone calls. They listen to music. They do what I do, right? They listen to music. They eat food. Well, those are just like the things you do with your life. You don't need to do any of those things. You don't need to listen to music. You don't need to. You could just stare at the wall all day like I do. But people listen to music. People learn a skill. People go to a job and move objects around or click buttons. You know what I mean? That's what people fucking do. All they do is make phone calls. Do you sort of, catch my drift? That's all people fucking do is make phone calls and shit. People make phone calls and they look at their cell phones and they click buttons and they look at videos. Or people read books. I like to read books since I'm a girl. Or people play video games. That's something people do. Or people do drugs. Some people take drugs and they ingest substances that get them high or put them on a psychedelic trip. And that's something people do. People go to stores and buy things with money. People fix problems. Some people might make a lot of money. And some people make money, and that's what they do. Those are people doing shit. Some people, dude. That's all fucking people do, is make phone calls and shit. That's all people fucking do, man. Some people smoke cigarettes like I do. They smoke cigarettes. That's all people fucking do, man. Seriously. That's all people fucking do. So that's pretty crazy, right? Some people play musical instruments. I have a musical instrument sitting right there. I'll show you. I've shown this before. It's an ocarina, and if I dropped it, it would break. Isn't that cool? That's all people fucking do. They make phone calls and shit. And I was just looking at the full moon, and I was just looking at the street lights and the street lights, and I was looking at the street lights, and I thought all people do is fucking make phone calls and shit. That's all people fucking do. That's all that I see. People just make phone calls and shit. That's all they fucking do, man. People get hurt. That's something that happens to people is that they get hurt. People hurt one another, and you get hurt, and you fuck up, and you become rehabilitated. Like let's say I fucked up, so I was rehabilitated. And something I said on my last video. is that nobody's going to save you. Nobody will save you. You have to save yourself. So I save myself. That's what I've done. Nobody will. No, it appears to me like nobody is going to save you. You have to save yourself. But I guess there's nothing wrong with that, since it's not my job to fucking save you. You know what I mean? It's not my fucking job to save you and shit. No, it's not like you couldn't help someone. Maybe you could help someone, but I don't think you could save someone. But someone might interact with someone else and be affected by them. You might be affected by something. You might be affected. You interact with someone else and you get hurt, so you're affected. Or you're traumatized and you become traumatized. But then you learn how to deal with your trauma and you become strong. Or you become weak. Since you're broken by the trauma. So you enter this state of weakness. But you appear to be strong. Like I do. But in reality, I'm quite weak. I'm not quite on a year on my transition. I'm not quite at a year, but I do have boobs. I'm at a year of sobriety, so a year without drugs. So a year without drugs, that's pretty good. But when you tell people you're a year without drugs, they're just like, good job. There's like, congratulations, or good job, or like, okay. Sometimes people are so rude that they're just like, okay. I mean, I don't know. Maybe is that rude? It's like, oh fuck, you don't know how hard it was to become a year sober. But I'm a year sober, and it was hard. It was one of the, probably the hardest thing I've done. I have this tattoo on my face. It states "Etoile et toi." So that's a song from Kizu Monogatari. But I think it means all people are going to die. How do I look? I think I look good. So I guess I'll let you go.